You got a 1, a 2, a 3, and a hey now! And I'm motivated. I got that German World War I helmet on, relic condition. Now what are we doing? We're moving on to number 2 item of the day for this Tuesday. To list 2 for Tuesday at the very least is this World War II shell relic. It's a front line. It's called has a front seam on it, and that's how you can tell that it's from World War II. And what that is on the front of the helmet, looking at it like that, this being the bill of the helmet, you can see that little seam right there. That's just called the front seam. Now this has a chin strap that I don't know, I would believe not to be World War II. Could be. It looks a lot greener to you, I would bet, on the camera than it does here in person. And what am I doing? I'm going to sell this on eBay. And right now, just getting ready here to take these pictures. I want to make sure that I deleted all my last pictures, and I'm going to snap a quick 12 out and bullshit to you at the same time. While I adjust my camera, you can hear me talk. So this is what I'm doing right now, is I'm getting ready to sell this helmet, and I'm just trying to take some really great pictures of it. And you really want the pictures to do the talking for you. You know, you can really make a helmet look appealing by what you show. Show the character. Show the wear. Now you can see this has got some rust damage on here because basically these shells were all found stacked together. So I'm trying to get not too much reflection. Let's check that last picture there. You can probably see that in the camera there, just a little bit. It's probably too small for you to see, but I did make an attempt. I got a good picture there. I was proud of it. I was trying to show it to you. And so, you just want to turn the helmet, and you want to catch it from every angle. And why I get quiet there is I'm trying not to shake. This is a somewhat vintage, archaic camera. And even the slightest movement, it will blur out. Now you say, well, why don't you go buy a new camera, Mike? Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I should totally have one. I could probably even be listening from my my iPhone and getting beautiful pictures. But my stepfather, who passed away, rest in peace, bless his soul, Gilbert Marty, bought me this camera. I would bet, shit, it's been a while now since I got this helmet here, this camera. And what I'm trying to capture is now any markings on the inside. I try to get wide shots because sometimes if you don't know what you're looking for and someone's got a close-up, they won't even know what part of the helmet they're looking at and from what perspective. So right now I'm just looking it over, seeing if there's any stampings to size, etc. I love that this has the chin strap on it, and I won't even try to get it off. It should be faced forward, but it's not. See how many pictures we've snapped here. Because you want to take the max. You know, if you can take 12 pictures, obviously take the 12 pictures. We got 11. We got one last shot here. So what I'm really going to try to do is capture this helmet somehow and make it look cool. So someone is... I just like the overall look of these old rusty helmets. I mean, these are great. There's not a lot of value in them. Like I have one on right now, it's up to 40 bucks. These were all found in they were found in Fort Snelling in Minnesota here. And I picked them up, gosh, I want to bet 5 or 6 years ago. Could have even been a little bit longer, maybe not. Whatever the case. A young kid had them listed on Craigslist, and he had a large lot of them. I can't remember how many there were at the time, and he wasn't moving them. It looks like he had a few guys come out and pick them clean and grab the best of ones, and then they left a lot. I ended up buying, I want to say about 30 of them from him at like $5 a pop. I initially tried to sell them at the flea market here locally. I couldn't even pull in 20 bucks on them. The fucking guys here are just so stubborn, you know. They don't realize there's money on the bone for these. And then I just started listing them on on eBay last year. I probably sold about 4 or 5 of them, if not more. And I was just bringing anywhere from 30 to 60 bucks on them, depending. And then so this is the second one. The one I'm listed right now is up to 40 bucks and ends tonight. And so when that one ends, this one will take its place. And what I added to it was these were found in Fort Snelling in an old back building. And so I put that into the title, Minnesota Fort Snelling, and the fact that they're World War II, etc. The fact that this has a chin strap should bring it up a little bit more money, but whatever the case, man. You know, shelf art, etc. This is a real inexpensive, low level for any collector who's into World War II. You could pick these up on eBay for really good prices. And it's really hit or miss. You don't know what they're going to bring. You really don't. If there's something that makes one particularly sought after, it'll skyrocket. You just don't know. Whatever. We're on our second item. That's what we're doing. We're listing. We're getting rid of. We're uncluttering. Hey now. If you look down in there, you can see there's another, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I think I've got like 3 right there in the shadows. And what really sucks is I'm listening to that new Metallica, and every time I film, I got to turn the frickin' thing off. I wish I could just let it play, but I hate that copyright bullshit. I mean, yeah, I get it. You know, no one wants to steal music and stuff because that's what you're doing at that point. But fuck, when you're just using it in the background, and a guy like me is just bullshitting, that should be acceptable. But whatever, I get it. Metal mic in the bunker. I've moved my record collection into the bunker now on the floor instead of where it was. That was the decision we made. So anyway, I'm going to get back to work. Hey now, in the shadows. Out of the shadows, somewhat darker. Maybe a little bit more light. And right, this is the fun I have. This bullshit with you guys. Acted a fucking fool. And as you can see, I stopped my Metallica. This is a new album. This one's great because it comes with, I bought the box set for $64, which I got the money from those fucking barrels yesterday. That helped out a lot. And so I got it and I'm pounding it out. And so I'm stopping it every time I fucking talk to you guys. And yeah, it's hard. Because just like in the last video, as soon as I turn this off, I get back into work mode. I'd much rather just bullshit with you and rant and rave. But hey, like I'm always preaching, get it done. 1 item a day, right? We got 2. Maybe we'll roll for 3 or 4 today. 5. Shit, if I got 5 items listed on eBay today, I'd be stoked. Get rid of this shit. What I really need to do is I've got a pre-order from the post office. If you didn't know, you can go online to the post office and you can pick your priority boxes. They're free and they deliver them to the door. And that's huge because if you're selling on eBay, you know, boxes can be a bitch. You'll have an item and you're like, fuck, I don't have a box. You refrain from selling it. If you go onto the post office and pre-order exactly kind of, I get these 12 by 8 boxes priority. Of course, then you have to ship a priority, but the kicker on that is on eBay, if you sell by priority, whatever the shipping ends up being, in the end, because you're using priority mail, the post office gives you a kickback for every one you sell. So, if I sell an item for whatever the fuck I sell it for, and I ship it priority, and the seller pays, let's say, $15 for shipping, that's what it costs, the post office kicks me back $1.77 because I use that specific service. What does that mean? More money in my pocket. That helps hit the damage for the seller fees, PayPal fees, all that bullshit. But let's go build that collection. And if I want to build my collection, I gotta sell my collection, which is my hoard, which is my junk, which is my hoard. What else could it be? Except for the fine, fine, fine stuff. I'm so jealous of the American pickers. I'm so fucking jealous. Wow, man. And they got all these sponsors. Wow. Talk about really fucking doing well. Those guys, man, are knocking it out of the fucking park. I am envious. I am jealous. I wish I could have been in the last pick that they had. The last 2 shows that they've done from this season have been extraordinary. The opportunities to go into those old back buildings and stuff. Fuck, loaded down. Loaded down. Woo! But it's all out there, and you can find it, so stay positive. Of course, we don't have the money, we don't have the support, we don't have the things that they do, but they worked hard to get into the position they're in, so let's give them respect, because that's what they earn. That Mike guy went around and filmed, because the first guy that came out and shot me, remember, I was signed to Adam Reed, who did the Gene Simmons show, A&E, which was on A&E, and he did a couple other reality shows. You can look him up, Adam Reed. So I was signed to him for my first what's it called, development deal for my first show. And so when I was with him, they came out, they sent a crew out, and they shot a sizzle, which means they shoot a short, and they go and shop it to the networks, etc. We've been through this before, but why not when we touch on these words and maybe someone hasn't seen or know what I'm talking about, explaining it to you. So they came out, they shot the sizzle, and when we did, we talked to them, you know, about what needed to be done for me to have my own show. And they were saying that how that Mike guy started, not they, but the guy that shot the sizzle for me. He said that Mike had went around for 5 or 6 years filming, but like what I'm doing, except, you know, in his way and how he does it, and was making these videos and went around literally and knocked on every fucking door there was from every network and could not get a show, could not get a deal. And finally, what you have to do is you have to sign with somebody to get it done. It's very difficult to get it done all on your own. Could it be done? I'm sure it can, but worded from the guys out there who I spoke with, all the higher ups, and I've spoke to a lot of them, and I spoke to Adam Reed one-on-one, there's really no rhyme or reason to what is successful and what they want to do with the show or not. You know, one day they want to put a show into production, the very next day they don't. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And there's a formula that they like to stick to. They like to have 3 people. That's why they brought Danielle in, and they brought in Frank. So then he signed to whoever his production deal or whatever he was working with signed, and then they got him the History Station deal. But the fact is he had done tons of legwork for years and got nowhere with it, and finally was able to meet up with the production, blah blah blah, got signed, got a show, and it can be done. But whatever, back to what I was shooting for. I'm jealous, yeah, but I also want to make clear to everyone out there, don't be deflated by these guys, you know, because they're out there buying items for $20,000, $30,000. It's deflating, right? Because we're like, fuck, we're fucking around with this little shit. That's where we want to be. But you can get there, and you have just as much of an opportunity to find the golden treasure as they do, because it is out there. That's what's great about this particular field, this passion of collecting, picking, whatever you want to fucking label it, whatever you want to call it. What's great about it is every man has a chance. This is the real world NFL. You know, have you ever heard that? If you're an NFL fan, they say that's what's great about the NFL. Any team can suddenly come to power and win a Super Bowl. And that's what's great about the NFL. Competition is fair across the board. Well, in this picking field, money obviously raises your competition up to here if they've got deep pockets, and maybe you don't and you're struggling down here. But no one can take away your work ethic and getting out there and hustling. Day to day, getting up, getting out, going through the motions, failing and failing and failing and fucking failing again for a long fucking time. Because every time you fail, you are that much closer to succeeding. Remember that. Do not fucking forget it. Let it burn in your head. If you get to a sale and you see a guy carrying a treasure away, maybe it's that German helmet, let's just call it that. Like if you're me, you see a guy carrying a German SS helmet, you're like, I've been looking for fucking 20 years, there goes one right in my hands. 5 minutes I could have got here earlier and gotten it. But it doesn't matter. That means that you're on the right track. You're doing the right thing. You're that much closer. Keep banging, folks. That's all I'm shooting for right here is motivation, motivation. The field is level. The money, deep pocket guys are up here. The low pocket guys are down here in the gutter. They call us bottom feeders. You know, they don't, the high-end dealers hate guys like us, but they can't survive without a guy like you because you're the guy that's going to uncover it so that they can get it and they can look special. But you have a chance to raise up, keep building, keep upgrading. You will get it done. Believe me, it will happen. From a guy who started, 20 years ago, taking this serious, doing what I'm doing, driving an alley, grabbing an old vanity and gluing it together and selling it for whatever, 20 bucks when I had zero into it. You know, that was deflating, doing that kind of shit, but you have to do what you have to do to get where you're going, and you will get there. Stepping stones, you are climbing Mount Everest. Remember it like I've described, and I'm going to keep on fucking describing. You are climbing a mountain right now. You might be a quarter of the way, halfway up the mountain. You might only be a mile up the mountain. You got a long fucking way to go. It's a long road, but keep climbing. Do not stop. Slip and fall, crush your fucking knee, bleed from your knee and cry. But then, suck it up and start climbing again. Heal those wounds and climb. Hey now, Metal Mike, and I gotta go sell a fucking helmet and get some work done around here, right? And am I overboard? Yeah, maybe so. But that's what I am. I'm a fucking character on some level. I've always been a goofball like this my whole fucking life. So it's not a put on. When I was fucking 8 years old, I'd have one friend in front of me and I would be putting on these shows like I'm putting on for you. When I say putting on, it's just fucking free. It comes out of me. It won't stop. And so yeah, I did it then. I used to do it into a tape recorder when I was a kid, and I used to do it for my friends that when we would hang out, we would entertain each other because there was nothing else. We had no money. There was no food to go get. There was no money to go buy toys. There were no toys. Parents were gone. This is how we entertained each other, and that's what I'm doing today. I'm still entertaining, and I'm a fool, right? A good fool, though, because I'm the kind of fool that just wants to make you laugh, and I want to motivate you, and I want to see you go out and find it. And if anything, and if I can't do any of that, even I can just even make you laugh for a minute or entertain you or show you something cool. That's what it's all about. Hey now, for the 80th millionth time, and going overboard again, over dramatic, that's Metal Mike, and that's why I don't have my own show. That's why I have this channel for you, always here, 24/7. Come and watch me. There's thousands of videos for you to laugh at and enjoy and get motivated and cry and do all those things, but just keep going. Keep fighting. Fist bump. Metal Mike.